Welcome to our Wee Scotland Adventure slideshow.
These are some selected pictures that we have for you, and we'll tell you a little about our adventures. Here we go.
Our first stop is at the Aberdeen beach. We loved it there. It was absolutely gorgeous.
And these are all the stones Sean really liked. It's called the Granite City, when there's lots of granite on the beach, as you can see.
The clouds were gorgeous. The weather was gorgeous. It wasn't too cold. It was a great place to start our journey.
And as we were traveling, we saw a lot of landscapes that were just gorgeous. We tried to capture them in the lens, but it was very difficult to do.
We were there at a great time of year too, because the fall colors just popped right out. It was absolutely gorgeous. Well, one of the other reasons we were in Scotland was because I do enjoy Scotch whiskey. So we got to do a lot of Scotch whiskey tours. One of the places we went to is the Cragganmore, which is one of my personal favorite Scotches. It's a very small one, so we got to sit down with the master distiller, and he really talked us through the process, and they let us take some pictures where you're normally not able to take pictures.
And it was a really fun experience. The first one that we actually went to is the Glenlivet. And there's us with a picture of John Smith. Is that what
This is actually the barley, the malt actually being delivered. And there's a whole bunch of steps to the distillation process. And if you would like to learn about them, then you should read up on our blog, and we'll give you some extra information about them.
This was an art exhibit at the Glenfiddich Distillery, and it's called the Connoisseurs.
And the Aberlour just had a great tasting. So.
The next part of the distillation process is, or actually the first part rather, is where they make the casks to put the whiskey in. And the casks have been used already, and so they have to repair them, and they do that at a cooperage.
For a whiskey to be considered whiskey in Scotland, it has to be aged for over 3 years, so it's a pretty big industry.
So these are the guys, the coopers themselves, working on repairing the casks.
This is a comparison of the sizes.
And Sean trying to make a cask.
Which was a lot of fun. They also end up using them for gardening stuff, or turning into barrel men after about 100 to 150 years use of the casks.
Our next trip was to Loch Ness, which was very impressive. It was large, and the water was very black.
We got to go on a boat tour, Jacobite boat tour, which is a name for the rebels of Scotland. This is Urquhart Castle, which was absolutely gorgeous. It's one of the top 3 visited castles in the UK.
And it was lots of fun to explore, and like a lot of castles in Scotland, it was in ruins, but it was really pretty. And
Sarah tried to actually escape. But,
yeah. Sean enjoyed the views and the colors again, and the black water was really impressive.
They had a trebuchet there, which was a lot of fun, and for some reason, these 3 kids posed for me. I have no clue who they are, but they were really excited to pose for me.
And we found Nessie!
Well, that's Nessie's little sister. I actually found Nessie. So you can let everyone know that Nessie exists. We found Nessie, and we got a picture with Nessie.
And some of the Scottish food now. This is the ever-famous haggis that we did get to eat.
It's actually quite delicious, and Sarah had some at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, it's good. And this is deep-fried haggis.
Because, of course, everything's better when you deep fry it. This is a traditional Scottish breakfast, which was actually enough food so you didn't have to have lunch. There's black pudding there, and sausage and tomatoes and beans and eggs and mushrooms and some bacon.
And then this was one of our favorite parts of the whole trip. We got to do some Highland dancing, and we were dancing the whole time, so we didn't get a picture of us dancing, but this was afterwards when it was finished.
It was a lot of fun, great memories for us.